The summer evening was warm and quiet, the kind of night that invited relaxation and laughter. For Jake, Ryan, and Danny, it was the perfect night to cool off in Ryan's backyard pool. The three friends had spent the entire day playing basketball and hanging out, but as the sun dipped below the horizon, they decided to wind down with a swim. The pool lights cast a soft, bluish glow over the water, and the sounds of splashing and laughter filled the air. The boys took turns diving into the deep end, their voices echoing against the tall wooden fence that enclosed the yard. "Man, this is the life," Ryan said, floating on his back. "No school, no stress, just us and the pool," Jake chuckled. "And no adults telling us to turn the music." Danny, who had just climbed out of the water, grabbed a towel and looked toward the fence. "You guys ever think about how creepy it is out here the trees, the shadows, all that?" Ryan rolled his eyes. "Don't start, Danny. You are the one who wanted to watch that horror movie Danny shrugged. "I am just saying, it's a little eerie, that's..." Jake smirked. "What? You scared someone's going to jump out of the shadows and get..." "Very funny," Danny said, though he couldn't shake the feeling that the darkness beyond the fence held something more than just shadows. As the night went on, the boys' laughter subsided, replaced by quieter conversations. The stars were bright, and the soft hum of cicadas filled the air. Jake was the first to notice something odd. "Hey, did you guys see that?" he asked, sitting up on the pool's edge. Ryan looked up from his float. "See what?" Jake pointed toward the fence. "Over there. I thought I saw someone, or some..." Danny frowned, wrapping the towel tighter around his shoulders. "Don't mess with me. I am serious," Jake said. "It was like a shadow, but it moved." Ryan sighed. "Probably just a tree branch or something. Relax." But Jake couldn't relax. He kept glancing at the fence, his unease growing. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed from the other side, causing all three boys to freeze. The sound was unmistakable. Something, or someone, had hit the fence. "Okay, what was that?" Danny whispered. His voice... Ryan climbed out of the pool, grabbing a flashlight from the patio table. "Stay here. I'll check it." "Are you insane?" Jake hissed. "What if it's a burglar or..." Ryan waved him off. "I am just going to take a quick look. It's probably not..." With the flashlight in hand, Ryan approached the fence, his heart pounding in his chest. The beam of light swept across the wooden slats, but everything seemed... Just as he was about to turn back, a low, guttural noise came from the other side. It was faint, but it sent shivers down his... "Guys," Ryan called, his voice shaky. Before he could say more, the sound of splintering wood filled the air. A section of the fence buckled, and a figure scrambled over it. The boys screamed as the intruder landed heavily on the grass. The man, if he could even be called, that was disheveled and wild-eyed, his clothes torn and stained. He clutched a large knife, the blade glinting in the pools. For a moment, he just stood there, staring at them with a twisted... "What do you want?" Jake shouted, backing away toward the man didn't answer. Instead, he took a step forward, raising the knife. Panic erupted as the boys scrambled to put distance between themselves and the intruder. Danny tripped over a lounge chair, falling hard onto the patio. Ryan grabbed a pool skimmer, wielding it like a... "Stay back!" Ryan yelled, though his voice wavered. The man lunged, and the boys scattered. Jake and Danny ran for the house, but Ryan held his ground, swinging the skimmer with all his... The makeshift weapon struck the man's arm, causing him to drop the knife. But the victory was short-lived. The man tackled Ryan, knocking him to the... Inside the house, Jake fumbled with his phone, dialing 911 with trembling hands. Here is a man in the backyard. He's attacking my friend. Hurry!" Danny, meanwhile, grabbed a baseball bat from the living room. "I am going back out there," he said, his voice filled with a mix of fear and determination. "Are you crazy?" Jake asked.
"Wait for the police."
But Danny didn't listen. He ran back outside, bat in hand, and found Ryan struggling beneath the man. Without hesitating, Danny swung the bat, hitting the intruder's... The man howled in pain, rolling off. Ryan scrambled to his feet, gasping for air. "Thanks," he managed to say. The intruder staggered, his movements jerky and uncoordinated. He looked at the boys, his grin now replaced with a snarl. But before he could move again, the sound of approaching sirens filled. The man's head snapped toward the noise, and for a moment, he seemed to consider his options. Then, with a guttural growl, he turned and sprinted toward the broken fence, disappearing into the police arrived moments later, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. The boys explained what had happened, their voices trembling as they recounted the ordeal. Officers searched the area but found no sign of the. He's gone for now, one officer said. But we'll keep an eye out. You boys did the right thing calling us. That night, the three friends sat in the living room, shaken but grateful to be safe. The pool, once a symbol of carefree summer nights, now felt tainted by the memory of what had happened. They promised each other to always keep the gates locked and to stay. As the hours passed and the adrenaline wore off, Jake voiced the thought they had all been avoiding.
Yeah.
What if he comes back? Ryan, holding an ice pack to his bruised ribs, looked at him with a grim expression. If he does, we'll be ready. But deep down, they all knew the truth. Some shadows linger long after the danger is past, and the memory of that night would haunt them for years to come.